I'm standing at the back of Romano's restaurant right now, watching my parents raise their champagne glasses toward my sister. The crystal catches the candlelight, and for a moment, everything looks perfect. Beautiful. Even. My father clears his throat and the room goes quiet. To our daughter Rebecca, he says, his voice cracking with emotion. The pride of our family. Everything we ever hoped for. Everyone claps. My mother dabs her eyes with a napkin. And me, I'm invisible. Just like I've been for 26 years. But tonight is different. Tonight, I have a folder in my purse that will change everything. The lights dim for a surprise. Slideshow about Rebecca's accomplishments. My hand moves to my phone. My finger hovers over the message to the restaurant manager. One click, and the truth comes out. One click, and I stop being silent. My hand trembles so badly, I almost drop my phone. This is it. This is the moment I've been building toward for 6 months. I take a breath and wonder if I'm really going to do this. My name is Olivia. I'm 26 years old and I work as a project manager at a tech startup downtown. On paper, my life looks decent. Good job, nice apartment, financial independence. But in this room, surrounded by my family, I'm still that little girl who never quite measured up. The daughter who didn't shine bright enough. The one who learned to expect nothing and somehow still felt disappointed every single time. Rebecca is 29. 3 years older and a million miles ahead in our parents' eyes. She's a senior partner at Morrison & Associates, one of the top law firms in the city. She drives a Mercedes. She wears designer suits. She's everything our parents brag about at their book club and golf outings. And I'm the footnote. Though, oh yes, we have another daughter afterthought. Tonight is our parents' 35th wedding anniversary. The whole family is here. Aunts, uncles, cousins. The restaurant is decorated with white roses and gold ribbons. There's a table full of gifts, a 3-tier cake. And somehow this celebration of my parents' marriage has turned into another tribute to Rebecca. Because of course it has. That's how it always goes. I watch my sister stand up to give her thank you speech. She's wearing a black dress that probably costs more than my rent. Her hair is perfect. Her makeup is flawless. She looks like success incarnated. When she takes the microphone, everyone leans forward, ready to hang on her every word. I'm so blessed, Rebecca begins, her voice smooth and confident. To have parents who taught me the value of hard work and dedication, who showed me that if you work hard enough, you can achieve anything. She pauses for effect, and people nod approvingly. Then she continues, and my stomach tightens. Unlike some people, I never took shortcuts or asked for handouts. I earned everything I have. Her eyes flick toward me for just a second. 1 second. But I catch it. And I know exactly what she's referring to. 3 years ago, I had a car accident. Not my fault. A drunk driver ran a red light and totaled my car. I broke my arm and had a concussion. The medical bills piled up even with insurance. I asked our parents for a loan. $3,000. I paid back every single penny within 8 months, with interest. But to Rebecca, asking for help means I'm weak. It means I took a shortcut. My cousin Jason is sitting next to me. He leans over and whispers, "That was harsh." He's 29, same age as Rebecca, but he's always been kind to me. He's seen how our family works. I force a smile and whisper back, "I'm used to it." But that's the thing. I am used to it. And maybe that's the problem. Rebecca's speech continues, and I feel something inside me crack. Not break crack. Like ice on a frozen lake when the temperature starts to rise. She talks about perseverance and never giving up. And everyone nods like she's delivering a TED Talk. My father has this look on his face. This expression of pure pride that I've spent my entire life trying to earn. I've never seen him look at me that way. Not once. I remember when I was 8 years old. I won the school science fair. I built a model of the solar system that lit up when you pressed different buttons. I was so proud of it. I practiced my presentation for weeks. The day of the fair, I stood next to my project, waiting for my parents to arrive. Rebecca was 11, and she had a piano recital the same day. Different time, different place. Both events mattered. Both daughters deserved to be celebrated. They chose the recital. My father called from the auditorium and said, "Sweetheart, we can't make it to both. Rebecca's teacher says this is a very important performance. We'll see your project at home, okay?" I stood there in the gymnasium, surrounded by other kids and their parents, and I smiled at the judges alone. I won second place. When I got home, my solar system stayed in the box. Nobody ever asked to see it. That memory hits me now, sitting in this restaurant. Watching my mother gaze at Rebecca like she hung the moon. All those small moments, all those times I told myself it didn't matter. All those times I convinced myself I was being dramatic or oversensitive. They're flooding back now, and I realize something terrible and liberating at the same time. I wasn't wrong. It did matter. I mattered. I just got so good at pretending I didn't that I almost believed it myself. Rebecca finishes her speech to thunderous applause. She sits down and my mother reaches over to squeeze her hand. "We're so proud of you, honey," she says loudly enough for the whole table to hear. I'm sitting 3 feet away. 3 feet. My mother doesn't even glance in my direction. My Aunt Marilyn catches my eye from across the table. She's my father's older sister, and she's always been the observant one. The one who remembers my birthday without a Facebook reminder. The one who asked about my promotion last month when no one else did. She gives me this look sad and knowing in mouths. "You okay?" I nod, but we both know I'm lying. The servers bring out dessert. Chocolate mousse cake with gold leaf on top. Fancy, expensive. Very Rebecca. My father stands up again, tapping his champagne glass with a fork. "Oh God, there's more." Before we cut the cake, he announces we have one more surprise for our beautiful daughter. We've put together a video montage of Rebecca's greatest achievements. From her first steps to her partnership at the firm. We hope you all enjoy this walk down memory lane. The lights dim. A screen descends from the ceiling. This restaurant really went all out. Or rather, my parents really went all out. For Rebecca. Always for Rebecca. The video starts with baby photos. Rebecca in a pink dress. Rebecca taking her first steps. Rebecca's kindergarten graduation. My father's voice narrates in the background, recorded earlier. From the moment Rebecca was born, we knew she was special. Destined for greatness. I don't appear in a single photo. Even in the family pictures, I've somehow cropped out or positioned at the edge, barely visible. Something shifts inside me. That crack in the ice gets wider. I'm not sad anymore. I'm not hurt. I'm angry. Properly, completely, righteously angry. An anger I'm learning right now. It's just self-respect that's been pushed too far. I reach into my purse and pull out my phone. My hands aren't shaking anymore. They're steady, clear, certain. I open my messages and find the thread. With Jason, I type quickly. "I need your help with something. Can you distract the waiter in 5 minutes? 3 dots appear immediately. Then, I got you. Jason doesn't ask questions. He just trusts me. That's what real family does. I stand up quietly and make my way toward the restaurant manager's office. I'd contacted him 2 days ago, just in case I found the courage to go through with this. Just in case, I'd told myself. But I think I always knew. I think part of me has been planning this moment since the day I found those documents 6 months ago. The documents that prove Rebecca's perfect life is built on lies. The documents that are about to change everything. 6 months ago, I wasn't planning to destroy my sister's life. I was just trying to help my parents organize their paperwork. They were updating their will and estate plan, and my mother asked me to sort through old documents in the attic. Just the financial stuff. "Honey," she'd said over the phone, "you're so good with organization." It was the closest thing to a compliment I'd received in years. So I drove over that Saturday morning with coffee and determination. The attic smelled like dust and forgotten memories. Boxes were stacked everywhere, labeled in my mother's neat handwriting. Christmas decorations, tax returns, photo albums. And then I found it. A banker's box marked Rebecca College Years. I almost didn't open it. Rebecca's stuff was Rebecca's business. But I needed the financial aid documents my mother mentioned, so I pulled off the lid. Inside were folders. Lots of folders. Scholarship applications, award letters, financial statements. I started sorting them by year, creating neat piles on the attic floor. That's when I noticed something odd. A letter from the Horizon Scholarship Foundation. Congratulations on being selected as a recipient of our need-based scholarship for underprivileged students. Your essay about overcoming poverty and working multiple jobs, while maintaining academic excellence, truly moved our committee. I read it again. Poverty. Multiple jobs. I pulled out the application. There it was in Rebecca's handwriting. Under family income. She'd written $18,000 annually. Under parental support, she'd checked none financially independent. Under employment, she'd listed 3 part-time jobs. I stared at those words until they blurred. Our parents paid $25,000 a year for Rebecca's tuition. They bought her a car her freshman year. They gave her an allowance for books and supplies. I knew because I heard them talking about it at dinner every Sunday. Rebecca needs a new laptop for her classes, my father would say, pulling out his checkbook. Meanwhile, I worked at a campus coffee shop 40 hours a week to pay for community college. My hands started shaking. I kept digging. More scholarship applications. More lies. The Emerson grant for first-generation college students, Rebecca checked yes. Even though our father has a master's degree. The Rising Phoenix Award for students who overcame homelessness, she wrote an entire essay about couch surfing and food insecurity that never happened. The Davidson Scholarship. For students working full-time while attending school, she described juggling overnight shifts at a warehouse that I know she never worked at because she came home every weekend to do laundry and eat my mother's pot roast. I counted 8 different scholarships, $80,000 in total. Money meant for students who actually struggled. Students who actually worked 3 jobs. Students who actually went hungry to pay for textbooks. Rebecca stole from them. She looked at people living in real poverty and decided their suffering was a good story to exploit. I took photos of everything with my phone. My coffee went cold on the floor beside me. I couldn't stop. I found bank statements showing our parents' tuition payments during the same semesters Rebecca claimed to be financially independent. I found her real job history, one summer internship at our father's friend's law firm, paid part-time. I found credit card bills sent to our parents' address, all paid in full every month. The evidence was overwhelming, undeniable. Criminal, actually. Scholarship fraud is a real crime. People go to jail for it. But more than that, it was morally bankrupt. Rebecca had every advantage in life and still decided to take from people who had nothing. I drove home that day with copies of everything hidden in my trunk. I didn't know what I was going to do with them. I just knew I couldn't unknow what I'd learned. For 3 days, I didn't sleep. I kept thinking about all those students who didn't get scholarships because Rebecca took their spot. Students who maybe dropped out because they couldn't afford tuition. Students whose dreams died so my sister could fund her perfect life. On day 4, I decided to confront her. I called Rebecca and asked to meet for coffee. She showed up 20 minutes late, annoyed that I'd interrupted her Saturday. Make it quick, Olivia. I have a spa appointment at 2. I slid a folder across the table. I found your scholarship applications. She opened it. Her face didn't change. She just looked at the documents, closed the folder, and pushed it back toward me. Then she smiled. Actually smiled. So, Rebecca, you committed fraud. You stole $80,000 from people who actually needed it. She laughed. She picked up her latte and laughed like I'd told a joke. Oh, Olivia, you're so naive. Everyone does this. The system is broken anyway. I just worked smarter than everyone else. That's called strategy. It's called theft. It's called winning. She leaned forward, her voice dropping low. And here's what you're going to do. Nothing. Because if you say one word to anyone, I'll tell mom and dad you're lying because you're jealous of my success. They'll believe me. They always believe me. You're just bitter about your mediocre little life. She left me sitting there with the folder. My mediocre little life. The words echoed in my head all the way home. I kept the folder in my closet for 6 months. Some nights I'd take it out and stare at the documents, wondering if Rebecca was right. Maybe I was just jealous. Maybe this was what successful people did. They bent the rules, they found advantages, they did whatever it took to win. Maybe I was too soft, too honest, too naive to understand how the real world worked. But then I'd think about a girl I met at community college. Her name was Sarah. She worked the night shift at a gas station, went to classes during the day, and slept maybe 4 hours if she was lucky. She applied for the Horizon Scholarship the same year Rebecca did. She didn't get it. I remember seeing her in the library one day, crying quietly into her textbooks. She dropped out the next semester. Couldn't afford it anymore. I wonder where Sarah is now. I wonder what she could have become if someone hadn't stolen her chance. That's when I knew. This wasn't about jealousy. This was about justice. This was about the truth mattering more than keeping peace. This was about deciding that my silence wasn't worth more than someone else's stolen future, so I planned carefully, quietly. I contacted an old classmate who worked in the university's financial aid office. I need to verify some scholarship information, I said. It's for a family estate matter. She sent me official records. Every scholarship Rebecca received, every false claim she made, everything documented in the university's own files. I created a presentation. Simple, clean, no accusations. Just facts laid out in chronological order. Scholarship application next to bank statement. Rebecca's claimed income next to our parents' actual tuition payments. Her essay about working 3 jobs next to her real employment history, which was basically nothing. I let the documents speak for themselves, and then I waited. I waited for the right moment. The moment when the contrast between Rebecca's lies and her celebrated perfection would be impossible to ignore. I waited for tonight. Now I'm walking toward the restaurant manager's office, and my heart is pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. Mr. Chen looks up when I knock. We'd talked 2 days ago. I'd explained that I needed to add some slides to my parents' anniversary video. Family tribute, I'd said. Just a few additions to surprise everyone. It's been kind about it. Understanding. He doesn't know what's really on those slides. Miss Olivia, he says warmly, you have the files. I hand him my USB drive. My hands are steady now. Strange how clarity feels like calm. Just add these after the main video ends. Before the cake cutting. Can you do that? Of course. Your parents will be so surprised. Surprised. That's one word for it. I walk back to the table just as the video shows Rebecca's college graduation. She's on screen, smiling in her cap and gown, our parents on either side of her. I'm not in that photo either. I was there that day. I took the photo, but I don't exist in Rebecca's highlight reel. Jason catches my eye. He's been watching me, and there's a question in his expression. I give him a small nod. He stands up, stretches, and accidentally bumps into a waiter carrying a tray of wine glasses. There's a crash. Everyone turns. Commotion. Apologies. The waiter is flustered. And Jason is helping clean up, profusely sorry, making a big show of it. No one's watching me. No one ever watches me. I think about all the times I made myself smaller so Rebecca could shine brighter. All the times I swallowed my hurt so family dinners wouldn't be awkward. All the times I convinced myself that being the bigger person meant being silent. But silence isn't strength. Silence is just fear wearing a noble mask. The video ends. The lights start to come up. Mr. Chen approaches the laptop. My pulse quickens. This is it. The moment I stop being invisible. The moment I stop protecting someone who never protected me. The moment I choose truth over comfort. Rebecca is standing ready to cut the cake. My mother has her arm around her. My father is already reaching for his phone to take pictures. They look so happy, so proud, so completely unaware that in about 30 seconds, everything they believe about their golden child is about to shatter. Mr. Chen clicks to the next slide. The lights dim again. Oh, my father says there's more. Yes, Dad, there's so much more. The first slide appears on the screen. Bold letters. The Horizon Scholarship for Underprivileged Students 2015. Below it, a scanned image of Rebecca's application. The room goes quiet. Confused quiet. Why are we seeing this quiet? I take a breath. I've crossed the line now. There's no going back. And for the first time in 26 years, I don't want to go back. I want to go forward. Into the truth. Into my own light. Even if it burns everything down, the silence in the room feels alive. It has weight and texture, pressing down on everyone. I can hear my own breathing. I can hear the soft hum of the projector. I can hear my mother's confused whisper. What is this? The slide stays on the screen long enough for people to read it. Rebecca's handwritten application. The question, describe your family's financial situation. Her answer, my family lives below the poverty line. Annual household income is approximately $18,000. I receive no financial support from my parents and must work multiple jobs to afford basic necessities. The next slide appears. A bank statement from the same year. Our parents' account. A transaction highlighted in yellow. University tuition payment Rebecca. Morrison, $25,000. Someone gasps. I think it's Aunt Marilyn. Rebecca stands up so fast her chair scrapes against the floor. This isn't her voice is shrill, panicked. Olivia, what are you doing? There's been a mistake. But the slides keep moving. It's automatic, relentless. Truth doesn't need defending. Next slide. Rebecca's essay for the Rising Phoenix Scholarship. I've watched people lean forward reading. I know what it means to be homeless. I spent my sophomore year couch surfing, sleeping in my car some nights, wondering where my next meal would come from. Education was my only escape from poverty. Next slide. Photos from Rebecca's Facebook. Same time period. Same time period? Rebecca in our parents' house, Christmas morning surrounded by gifts. Rebecca at a resort in Cancun for spring break. Rebecca posing with a new MacBook Pro. The dates are clearly visible. March 2016, April 2016, May 2016, the same months she claimed to be sleeping in her car. My father's face has gone. It's completely white. He's staring at the screen like it's showing footage from another dimension. My mother's hand is pressed against her mouth. Around the table, I can see the realization dawning on people's faces. Confusion turning to understanding. Understanding turning to shock. Rebecca. My father's voice is barely a whisper. What is this? It's taken out of context. Rebecca's voice breaks. She's crying now, mascara starting to run. Everyone exaggerates on scholarship applications. It's not tied didn't mean the next slide is devastating in its simplicity. A spreadsheet. 8 scholarships listed in one column. Award amounts in another. Total at the bottom, $83,250. Next to it, a definition copied from the Federal Student Aid website. Scholarship fraud is a criminal offense. Falsifying financial information to obtain need-based aid can result in criminal prosecution, repayment of funds, and imprisonment. Cole Mike, my father's brother, stands up. Jesus Christ, Rebecca. Did you actually? He can't finish the sentence? The final slide appears. No fancy graphics, just words on a black background. These scholarships were meant for students who actually struggled. Students who actually worked 3 jobs. Students who actually went hungry. Students who actually needed help. The truth always matters. The room erupts. Not applause, chaos, everyone talking at once. My cousin Emma is staring at Rebecca with her mouth open. Aunt Marilyn has tears in her eyes, but she's looking at me, not Rebecca. My father is on his feet, his face red, his hands shaking. Is this true? Rebecca, tell me this isn't true. Rebecca is sobbing now, full, ugly crying. The kind that's half genuine emotion and half performance. I didn't know. I thought everyone does it. It's not like I actually hurt anyone. You didn't hurt anyone? The voice is quiet, but it cuts through the noise like a knife. It's mine. Everyone turns to look at me. I'm standing now too, though I don't remember deciding to stand. You took $83,000 from people who actually needed it. You wrote essays about suffering you never experienced. You looked at real poverty and decided it was a good story to steal. You're just jealous. Rebecca screams it. Her careful composure is completely gone. You've always been jealous of me. You can't stand that I'm successful and you're not. I'm not successful. My voice is still quiet, but it's steady, strong. I put myself through community college working 40-hour weeks. I paid off my student loans in 3 years. I earned my promotion without lying or cheating or stealing from people who actually struggled. You want to know the difference between us, Rebecca? I worked for what I have. You just took it. My mother starts crying. Real tears. She looks at Rebecca, then at me, then at my father. How did we not know? How did we— She can't finish. My father sinks back into his chair. He looks 10 years older than he did 5 minutes ago. The dinner ends in pieces. Broken conversations. Broken illusions. Broken pride. Rebecca leaves first, practically running out of the restaurant with her purse clutched to her chest. My mother chasing after her. My father sits frozen at the table, staring at the cake nobody's going to eat. The candles have burned down to nothing. I gather my things slowly. My hands don't shake anymore. I feel strangely empty, like I've been carrying something heavy for so long that without it, I'm not sure how to stand. Jason appears beside me. He doesn't say anything for a moment, just puts his hand on my shoulder. Then quietly, almost reverently, he says, "That took guts. Real guts. I'm proud of you, Olivia." Those words. I'm proud of you. For words I've been starving for my entire life, and they come from my cousin, not my parents. But somehow, that makes them more real. Jason chose to say them. He's not obligated by blood to love me. He just does. Aunt Marilyn hugs me before she leaves. She holds me tight and I can feel her shaking. Someone needed to hold her accountable, she whispers in my ear. "I'm sorry it had to be you, sweetheart. I'm sorry you had to carry this alone." "Okay." When she pulls back, her eyes are fierce. "But you did the right thing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." I drive home through empty streets. The city lights blur past my windows. I keep expecting to feel guilty, remorseful, something. But all I feel is tired. Bone deep, soul tired. The kind of exhaustion that comes after a war you've been fighting so long you forgot what peace felt like. 3 weeks pass in strange silence. No calls from my parents. No messages from Rebecca. I go to work. I come home. I sleep better than I have in months. On a Tuesday morning, my phone rings. It's my mother. I stare at the screen for a long time before answering. "Olivia?" Her voice sounds fragile, broken. "We need to talk, please. Your father and I. We'd like to meet you for coffee, if you're willing." We meet at a small cafe near my apartment. They look older. My father's shoulders are slumped in a way I've never seen. My mother's eyes are red-rimmed. We sit down and for a long moment, nobody speaks. The silence is different than the one at the restaurant. This one is full of things that need to be said. My father goes first. He clears his throat twice before the words come out. "Olivia, we owe you an apology. More than an apology." He stops, his jaw working. "We failed you. We've been failing you for 26 years and we were too blind to see it." My mother reaches across the table like she wants to take my hand, then pulls back, uncertain if she has the right. "We've spent the last 3 weeks looking back at everything. Really looking. Your science fair. Your graduation. Your promotion. All the times Her voice breaks. "All the times we chose Rebecca. We told ourselves we were just supporting the child who needed it most. But that was a lie we told ourselves. The truth is, Rebecca's success made us feel successful. And you," she wipes her eyes. "You were always so strong, so independent. We told ourselves you didn't need us. I did need you." My voice comes out smaller than I intended. I needed you to see me, to be proud of me. Just once, I needed to be enough. My father's face crumples. This man who never cries, who prides himself on stoic strength, has tears running down his face. You were always enough. We were the ones who weren't. We weren't enough as parents. We weren't fair. We weren't present. And I don't know if we can ever make that right. They tell me about the aftermath. Rebecca's law firm launched an investigation after they received an anonymous report. Jason later confessed to me that he knew someone in HR. Rebecca wasn't fired, but she's on probation. She had to make full restitution to a scholarship fund $3,000 plus interest. The firm made her write a public apology. Her partnership is under review. She's in therapy now, my mother says quietly, twice a week. She's struggling, but she needs to face what she's done. I don't feel triumphant hearing this. I don't feel vindicated. I just feel sad. Sad for all of us. Sad for the family we could have been if we'd chosen honesty over appearances. If we'd chosen connection over competition. I don't know if I can forgive you yet. I tell them honestly. Not right away. You hurt me for a really long time. My father nods. We understand. We want to try. If you'll let us.